Hello guys, welcome to Python Django series. In this video I will show you how to create an app inside a project. In the last video we created a project which called test project, and I will explain a little bit about the test project. Inside the test project there is another file folder which is called test project, and there is a database SQLite tree, and inside the test project there are several files and one folder which PyCache, and inside the PyCache there is another files init.py. If you don't know about the init.py, let's check the Python basic programming videos. And then we have ASCII files, settings.py files, and in the setting.py files here are all the setting rules and properties, path lib, base tree, mapping with the directory and with different files. We have secret keys, debug, which is true, and when we will host our project into the server we must change it to false. Allowed host installs app. Inside the installs apps array we should mention a newly created apps definition, what is called we should mention the path, or we should define the app inside the installed app. Otherwise it will not work, because the project will not recognize the newly created app. That's why it is important we should define the newly created app inside the installed apps array. And we have several building apps here with the system already defined by default: admin, auth, content types, session, message, statics files, and we have middleware. I will discuss it later. Then root, URL, config, templates, the directory path of the templates, different templates, so WSGI application, mapping, which maps with the WSGI files here, and we have database, and here is the database path definitions. And if you use different databases such as MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, or MongoDB, you should mention your database here. You should register here. And then we have a auth pass validator to validate password, and language code, time zone, other stuffs, and static URL. And we have another file URL. Inside the URL file we write the different path of our project URLs. Then we have WSGI files, I will discuss it later. And we have another important file which is called manage.py. You don't need to touch it. Let's go to the command line to interrupt the command prompt. Press Ctrl C in Windows operating system. Then we should write a command line to create the new app: Python manage.py start app. Then we should mention the app name. I mention student, and it already created. Let's check it. And here is our newly created student app. Inside this app we have a file folder migration. When we migrate our database, this folder will store some migration files. We have init.py, admin.py. I will discuss it later when I will use it. Then we have app config, and then model.py. We defined all of the database rules, regulation, everything inside this file. And we have test file. We should define different test cases here. And we have most important views.py. I think it's the brain of a project. You should write all the different logics, everything inside this views file. You can manage your URL, you can manage your template, everything. It works like a controller. And then I need to define these apps inside the settings files of the project, otherwise it will not work. just define it like this, very easy. Student, just put the app's name and put a comma in the end. Thank you for watching this video. I hope we will see in the next video, and in the next video I will show you how to create a database in a Django framework, in a Django project. Thank you. Have a good day.